So I have been asked a couple of times how we do our lecture recordings from the home office. And it's essentially the same setup that we will use on the TruthSearcher Teams conference, where we have 6 rooms in parallel, all produced with the exact same setup, with no one actually being in the studio and everyone being at home. So I thought I'll make a small video about how we actually did this. So before we went to home office for COVID, we used Voctomix, which has been widely used on all the CCC events during the last couple of years. And it's a really good piece of software if you want to do lecture recordings in person in a room with actual people and actual hardware cameras. And the reason for that is that it's built around the decklink cards from Blackmagic, which are really good cards to capture video from cameras or from speaker computers with some scaling before. And we use them a lot in our setup. And Voctomix has really nice transitions and presets for everything that you want to have for lectures. But it only works with the decklink cards and hardware cameras and capture devices. So it's nothing that you can simply take home in your home office. So the natural thing to go to for us was Google Meet. The reason is that we are like a Google company and we are a Google product reseller. So we use Google Meet a lot, even before the COVID season. And when we went home, it was a natural thing to just continue using it. And for our lectures, we started sending the speakers and the moderators Google Meet links, like the one you can see here. So for this presentation, I have prepared a Meet with some really nice speakers in it. So we have Mr. Bear, who is presenting to us, and we have Mr. Dog, who is our moderator. He will guide us through the Q&A. And this would be a setting similar to what we would encounter when we send these links to our speakers and ask them to present their talk in here. And there are a couple of things that are of interest here. First is that because Google Meet is a browser-based system, we can just open multiple windows of it. So I can open another window and just join the Meet again. I just have to think about to mute myself in all but one, at least. I will mute myself in all of them, just so I don't hear myself again. But I can do that a couple of times. So I can do that 3 times for this example. So I have now 3 windows, all of them contain a Google Meet session. And what I can do is I can pin sources in those windows. So let's take this window and pin the slides, and then take this window and pin Mr. Bear, and then take the other window and pin Mr. Dog. So now we have 3 windows, and all of them basically show me one source of information. And what I can do is I can apply, because it's all browser based, I can apply a special style sheet that we prepared. It's really simple. It's easy to do it yourself if you need to. But it hides some of the interface elements. So if I enable it, you will see that the navigation bar has been removed. The controls are still there if you need them, but the navigation bar has been removed and the footer bar has been removed. And in the production sheet for TruthSearcher Teams, we removed some more elements, but it's basically just what you see here. And what I can do now is I can take this window and make it full screen. And I can take the other window, for example, this one, and make it full screen. And also take this one and make it full screen. And I have them all on a full HD monitor. So they are now more or less perfectly full HD. You can see some of them aren't because their cameras are not full HD. Or is there, there's a navigation bar in here that has been there before. Interesting. So I probably need to change the style sheet? Well, you will figure that out for yourself if you need to. Or I will change the style sheet and put it somewhere it can be found. So let's make them full screen for the moment. So what we can do now is we can use OBS, Open Broadcaster, and I have like the sources I usually have for Meet recordings here. And what they are X window capture sources. So you can say, okay, I want to capture a window, and you can configure them to select the windows you need. But you have a problem, like they all are named the same. I can select one, but I can't select the other ones. That's because their names are the same. So we need to change the names. And I've prepared some bookmarklets which just change document.title. So I can say this is my speaker, and let's switch to Mr. Dog and say he's the moderator. And you can see like I've prepared moderator 1 and speaker 1 because I had multiple talks in the past which used multiple speakers, which were presented by multiple speakers and multiple moderators. So what I can do now is I can select the moderator source and choose my window, moderator 1. Okay, go to the speaker source and select speaker 1. And also select the slides. They are actually already right, but select them once again just to be sure. And I will figure out why there are black stripes. That hasn't been there like for the last half year that I have been producing videos like that. But what we can do now is we can use Open Broadcaster. We still need to work with the audio output. It's silent because I am muted on all of the meets. But if I unmute myself in one of them, for example in this one, which I can't because they are turned off, unmute myself here, then you will see that we have nice audio on the output, and I am getting crazy because I can hear myself. But there's another important thing. If you are in the Meet 3 times, then you will get all the audio 3 times. So there's another plugin that I installed. It's the Mute Tab plugin for Chrome, and it allows you to mute 2 of your 3 tabs. I usually mute everything but the speaker because that's the really important source. So the speaker tab is the only one that stays unmuted. And let's enable the styles again, and it stays unmuted. So in this setting, I have everything I need to set up a broadcast, start recording or streaming, and take my my talk through the setup. And maybe I'll start with the moderator talking, and then I'll introduce the speaker, and then we'll switch to the speaker with slides, and after the talk go back to the moderator with the speaker so they can like have a discussion or a conversation. And the nice thing is that I can change those sources during runtime, like when moderator and speaker are live, or for example if while speaker and slides are live, I could switch to the moderator window, unpin him, and pin another source like this, and then say, okay, now let's go there. And the nice thing is that you can have all the speakers and all the moderators in one Meet and just choose which one you want to show. And even if they're like having a discussion, you can open or change the windows at runtime while you are on it. And I had like really dynamic setups where I dynamically changed my scenes and opened new windows and joined the Meet. And you can do all of these things to get the dynamic you want, but it's something that usually I don't need. Like usually I have one speaker, one moderator, maybe 2 speakers, and they give a talk, and then there is maybe there's a break. Do I have a break here? No, I don't have a break video here. Maybe there's a break, and in the break you can unpin whoever you need, pin the next one, prepare for the next talk, and then start over. So that's the setup I have been using during the last, since February. That's like more than half a year. And it's also the setup that we prepared for the Tools for Agile Teams conference, where all of our speakers will be in such Google Meets together with the moderators. They will join and leave whenever they feel. And we will mix them live, their talks live, and have also a live Q&A then. So let's see how that rolls. Technically it certainly works, but it needs some focus to know when to unpin and pin the windows, at which windows you can change at which time, because they're not live. But I'm sure we will get that working, and I hope that you took something from this and maybe set up your own video stream similar to this. Let me know in the comments or give me a tweet. Have a nice day. Bye bye.